Please don't beat yourself up. Being a boy that has been the boy making girls cry, we can be assholes. Like, we can. Sometimes we have even manipulative tendencies that we don't realize we have because they're mental health problems that we haven't checked.
So today we're gonna be doing another serious one. The serious ones I think are always super important because, you know, they're educational to us, obviously, as teen girls or teenagers in general. We're heavily influenced by a ton of different things, and we're all learning for the first time and experience and growing. And once you get to like kind of your teen years, I feel like that's when you're ready to try everything because you're like,
well,
oh,
and
bitch.
peer pressure too. Like, I don't know about y'all, but like I feel like not peer pressured a lot, but like if you get around the wrong people, they're like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
just
like
do it with us,
yeah. And you're like, okay, I'm getting grown, like let me just try it, like I can handle it, like I'm not 11 anymore, you know what I mean? So today we have a special guest named Isaac. Isaac, I've heard, is a very sweet man. Isaac has had struggles with addiction, so we're gonna be talking about addiction today. Aubrey, you know a little bit about addiction. Like, addictions come in different shapes and forms and sizes or whatever, but you've had in your family, obviously, addiction. Brooklyn, I think in your family, you've had addiction. Sophie.
Not like my family, but like I know people.
Yeah.
I don't think my family.
You've seen it.
Well, I don't know. It's a long story, actually.
Like for myself, I would say like obviously I know my family members, none of like my immediate family. So I'm like interested, I guess, in learning and educating myself about it today because it is like, it's super serious and it affects so many people in your everyday life. Like that's the thing about addiction is it affects every single day.
Well, it's also
normally,
gonna affect the people around you too. Like,
of course.
Significantly more than you would even know. So it's like, not that you like, well, you shouldn't be doing that, but it's like hard to get out of that.
Yeah. And like my mom's talked about that she has like she thinks I like am addicted to like the wrong kind of people, you know.
Like toxicity?
I personally don't think I am, but like that's another thing they say like about addiction is like you don't think you have it.
Yeah.
Someone who's like an addict always says like they're fine, they don't have it. And once you like, you know, are real with yourself and are like, okay, yeah, that's when you get like the help. But yeah.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Hold on a second. I know this is girl talk, but we need to talk about the men in our lives. The men in our lives are struggling. Men today are facing immense pressure to perform, provide, and keep it all together. So no wonder why 6 million men in the US suffer from depression every year, and it's often undiagnosed. If you're a man and you're feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders, then talk to someone, literally anyone, a loved one, even a therapist. And it's convenient too. You can join a session with the therapist with the simple click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, you can switch therapists at any time. Right off brand, Regina? Right. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/GT. So if you're a man, you have a brother, a dad, or a friend who's been struggling, maybe they can benefit from talking to someone. Again, you guys, that's betterhelp.com/GT. Now let's get back to girl talk.
Okay, so we're gonna bring Isaac in right now and get deeper into the topic.
Hello,
Hi.
guys. Hi. How are y'all?
Good, how are you?
I got myself a little mushroom.
Yeah. We were just
see
talking
you
about tattoos. I can see you're tatted.
I have so many.
But you have cool ones.
Not even funny. I have from here to here. I have.
Okay, nice. Yeah,
Do
you
you
have like a
regret
little
any?
neck one.
Like, are you like, ooh?
No, I don't think they're all cool, but I don't regret them because I can look at them and I'm like, I remember when I got that, and I remember who I was when I got that. But I actually am removing my hand tattoos at the moment.
All of them?
Yeah, not because I hate them, but just because it makes acting a bit easier.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, because they're probably like, oh, we have to cover all this.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess
Do they
the
get
idea-
mad? Are they like, oh?
Well, they don't get mad, but sometimes they'll just be like, damn.
It's also easier for like auditions to just like do this and wear a collared shirt, and I can't do that with hand tattoos.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But you don't have any face ones, so.
no, that I stayed clear
Kept
from,
yourself
thankfully.
clear. Yeah. I feel like if I was like really into tattoos, like I'd get face ones by the end of this.
I came close several times to almost getting a face tat, and I'm very glad I didn't.
Yeah. Okay, well, little introductions. I'm Sarah. We met previously for a
remember,
moment
yeah.
at Rolling Loud, obviously.
I'm Sophie. I think we've met before at Casey's.
Oh, okay,
Question
yeah.
mark?
Yeah, I get my hair cut.
He's like, I don't remember you.
No, yeah.
Well, I mean,
It
probably
depends
not.
how long ago.
It
but,
was I was like ginger at the time.
Oh my god. Okay, Era.
while ago.
Okay, Era.
How dare you?
No, I was like, it was a minute ago.
I'm Aubrey. We also
Aubrey,
met at Rolling
we're
Loud.
at Rolling Loud.
I'm Brooklyn. We haven't met, but I'm meeting you now.
Hello, how
Nice
are
to
you?
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm great.
Okay, and you are Isaac.
I am
and
Isaac.
Then, tell us just a little bit about yourself, I guess.
Well, as they said so kindly, I'm very sweet, and that's all you need to know. I'm Isaac Presley. I'm a child actor and a musician. I have struggled with mental health and addiction, which I think we're going to talk about a bit today. I'm
Yes.
excited. Yeah, I've been in the industry since I was super young. I love horses. I ride horses. It's a good form of therapy for me, which is why I call myself cowboy. I'm not a fraud. I'm a real one.
Obviously, you were on a show called Stuck in the Middle, right?
It was, yeah.
Which was on Disney.
It was.
And you were on it for a while?
I did, yeah. We were there for 3 years, I think. Something
Okay.
like that, yeah.
So I first want to start out, obviously, like, we know so many people who are in the industry as a child, it affects them so insanely compared to, you know, if you're in the industry when you're a lot older. And like we've seen, for example, with someone like, you know, Miley Cyrus or Justin Bieber, like
Sure.
physically wear on them over
Yeah.
time, of course. Do you think that that has affected a lot of like how your life has played out?
Yes, but also like I always try and make the point of like, yes, I think it's very common and we see it, you know, it's like, oh, a typical child actor, but like
Yeah.
actually mistakes and addiction and troublemaking is something that all teenagers and young
Go through.
people go through. It's
Yeah.
just not publicized to the masses, you know, and my things were never like on set issues. Like I loved what I did. I loved all my cast. I have nothing but good stories. So
Right.
mine wasn't like on that side, thankfully, comparatively to other people. But being 14 and having notoriety gives you access to places that you typically wouldn't be able to, you know? Like
Right,
I was
and,
able
like,
to go to
things and
frat
people.
parties and like
Yeah.
I was, you know, when you go to a frat party, you're hanging out with people that are 18 to 21. So they are doing 18 to 21-year-old things, which are drinking and drugs and
Right.
all those types of things.
Obviously, I don't know like any of your backstory or like, you know, addiction or what had happened. Are you able like to like tell us like, I mean, I don't know if there was like an original thing that had happened and you're like that now, like anything like that, but
Yeah,
like,
I think
how it happened.
in the last couple of years, I'm 2.5 years sober in June. And
Oh,
I
congratulations. That's amazing.
appreciate it, thank you.
Congrats.
But I think actually, because I knew, I lost one of my best friends 6 months before going sober. And he always had a dream of like opening a rehab and he had very bad experiences in rehab. So when I went sober naturally, I think I kind of found a place of wanting to give back and I kind of thought about what that looked like for me. And I kind of came down to, I think a lot of start to addiction is actually a denial of the acknowledgement of your mental health. And that's what kind of sends you down that path. A lot of what it is it's poor coping for unacknowledged mental health,
issues.
you know,
Yeah.
and it's just a very easy cope. It's very accessible. It's very in front of you. It provides an escape and a numb. For some people, that's like they have terrible home lives, so they start to use to escape that environment. Relationships, like they go through heartbreak, and that becomes the cope. Sometimes I've even seen it just translate as like a simple bit of fun at first,
Yeah.
and like you just think what you're doing is casual fun, or you're like college students start developing a habit of drinking, and they're
Yeah.
drinking a lot because they're going to frat parties and sorority parties, and they're out in the world, and
Yeah.
when you're able to justify your drinking 5 to 6 times a week because it's like, oh, it's Evan's birthday and it's
college,
Kathy's
yeah.
birthday, and but you don't realize that you're drinking 5 to 6 times a week, and then you're out of college, and some people just don't ever really
Let that go.
Yeah.
let that go. And like alcohol is something that I talk about so much because I think it's so normalized. Like, I think having a drink every once in a while is fine, you know, if you don't struggle with those things. But I think alcoholism is like one of the most like the biggest addictions
Yeah.
that just flies so under. You know, like
Yeah.
psychologists say if you have alcohol in your system more than 4 days a week or 3 days a week, like you are technically considered an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because you're never without
You're
alcohol.
drinking
In your
like, all
system,
the
yeah.
time. Yeah.
People I know that I'm like, you are a full-blown alcoholic.
And you don't
And you
even
have
know.
no
Don't
idea.
realize
Not even
it.
questioned it. Yeah.
Because it's just justified as like Poppy Tuesdays or Hyde Wednesdays. You
Yeah.
know, like it's really easy. Like I was like that for quite a while. Like it was just like I don't have a problem. I'm just young and having fun.
Right.
Did your like addiction start when you were younger?
I got drunk for the first time, properly drunk, like blackout drunk, when I was 14.
Oh, that is.
Oh, wow.
And I was drinking pretty consistently, and I like smoked a little bit of and
Did you ever like come home like drunk or high to your parents? Like did they
no,
know, or
I
were
was
you good at
I was
hiding?
really good about like
Hiding it.
hiding it. Yeah. Which is something that I kind of carried into my addiction as well, because like
Yeah.
something I struggled with a lot was typically with addicts, you find they kind of reach like a breaking point where they're such a mess and their personality is angry and violent or very out of the ordinary. But I was a very functioning drug addict and alcoholic where
Yeah.
I was so lovely and so nice and so fun that a lot of the people, even when I went sober, there's a plethora of people that like didn't think that I had a problem.
Were you like if somebody like if I had a problem and then like I like fixed it and like people were like, well, it wasn't that bad, I'd be like I would be irritated. Like was that frustrating?
No, because I think, and it could be for sure, but I always say like the same reason why I went sober is the same reason why I didn't go sober for so long, because I'm stubborn, and when I make a decision, I'm stuck with it. So there, as many people as there were that like didn't see the problem, there was plenty of people in my life that did see the problem,
Right.
and if you do it for that purpose and that stays the purpose, it's an exterior force that is giving you your kind of guidance and your kind of hope for
But it's like not
continuing.
truly you.
But it's not you.
gonna stick.
And I think you see that a lot with like people that end up in rehab. It's like their parents dragged them there.
Yeah.
They didn't make the decision of like, I want this for myself. And if you don't have that, you're never going to find that sobriety, because it's also not as simple as just I want to be sober. When you make that choice, what you're saying is I want to come back into reality. I want to face all my issues. I want to face all my problems. I want to face a lifelong of trauma that I have neglected, and I want to take that head on sober. And even for someone that doesn't struggle with addiction, that's scary.
difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think anyone in this room can like think of a time that we've tried to put off some things that have like hurt us or have been right in front of our face that we're just
Right.
like. But if you can, and you can get through that, you look back on it and you realize that you are so much stronger because of it, you know. And now like life can throw literally anything at me, and I know that I'll get
You can
through
overcome it.
because I've gotten through this.
Yeah.
You know. I always encourage anyone, even if you don't struggle with addiction, if you struggle with mental health, like you have to acknowledge it. Therapy, like always be in tune with yourself, constantly, like even for you guys, like talking to yourself and being like, how am I? And being honest, like genuinely honest. Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I hurting? Am I feeling better than I ever have? Be real. And it could even be something as silly as like, I feel better than I ever have, but like, man, this boy is annoying me. Like, just checking in. Yeah. Like doing that is like really important, because that also helps you locate where your unhappiness
Right.
is in life.
Was it like hard like opening up to like a therapist? Cause like I feel like I'm just gonna like start lying and be like, nah, I'm great. Like I feel like I just like, and especially what you were saying too, like about your situations too. Like I just feel like I couldn't trust a whole other human, even if it's like legally they can't say whatever.
I'm glad that you asked that, because I don't actually have a therapist.
Really? Oh
I
my gosh.
grew up in a very toxic masculinity environment of like, man don't feel, man is fine.
And
like
you deal with it, you
Right.
get over it.
you
move
just
on.
like, if you want to cry, you
Go
suck
function.
it up and keep
Right.
going, you know. And the fear of putting this trust in another person to take your trauma, to take your pain, and trust that they won't use that as ammunition against you.
Yeah.
Or lose that friendship or relationship. And now there's just some stranger in this world carrying around
My deepest lore.
your deepest, right.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, like, I didn't go to rehab, I didn't go to therapy, because that just didn't seem right for myself.
Right.
That doesn't mean it's the same thing for other people. Like, I
Right.
encourage people, go to rehab, go to therapy.
Have you ever been to rehab in general?
I haven't, no. But I did a lot of research, and also, like, my way is, like, if you had the path here that's, like, kind of overgrown, so it's still hard to get through, that's rehab and therapy. My path is, like, Mount Everest, and you gotta go that. Like, it's way harder to do it of, like, holding yourself accountable, checking in on yourself. That way is extremely tough.
Well, you're very like in touch with, you know, your thoughts and feelings and everything like that. How did you get to that point, you know, where you were able to be real with yourself and be in touch and help yourself? Like,
Actually, I think it was that. I think it was my dad. Like, I love him, you know, despite all, you know, any flaws and issues that he struggles with. But he did not have the fortunate of kind of being in the era that we're in, where men's mental health and mental health in general is encouraged and talked about. Like, bipolar wasn't a thing, depression wasn't a thing, anxiety wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
And if you did have it,
It was weird.
you're a pussy.
Yeah.
And, like, he was kind of my guidance of, like, these are very real problems that if I don't address and attend to and just live my whole life bottling all this up, I'm just gonna be this,
into that,
you know? And I think that that's what I think that's why mental health has been talked about so much. I think that generation has very much led the way of being like, we need to be better than you know, shunning someone for being sad, or no one wants to have the problems that they have.
Yeah. No.
To any scale. And it's also really easy to be comparative with our problems. Like, to be like, well, things aren't that bad. Like, there's people
We're dying.
that are dying.
Yeah.
When do you think that you like realized, oh, this isn't just for fun anymore? Like, it's actually like addiction or
Pretty
not an
early
issue?
on,
Really?
actually. Yeah. But I like very much just had like I had a very low will to even survive at that point, you know? Like, I couldn't physically, like, commit. I knew that I didn't possess that in me to, like, take my own life.
Right.
But I don't know, I was just like, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I'll just burn bright for as long as I can and fizzle out. Like, I just had a very augmented reality. Now I've realized how silly of a thought that was, but it's just, you're in a dark place, you know? And when so much bad continues to pile up and it doesn't get better, you're just like, why would I want to keep seeing bad things and feeling bad things?
Yeah.
Genuinely, I am far more grateful for every bad thing that's ever happened to me than any good thing that's ever happened to me. Because like, the good things show me like why life can be great, but the bad things show me why I can be great.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Okay, yes.
Like, that's where we really grow as people. Like, I was not a great person, not a bad person.
Do you think it was like genuinely who you are, like what you were doing?
I don't think when we are at the ages that we're all in, you can even say who you are. Like, you're still developing. Like, we're always developing. But the person that I was portraying was not a person I was proud of. Like, I was a player. I broke hearts. I just like moved in a careless way, in a careless manner, like didn't think about how my actions affected people's feelings. Those are bad things, but those are things that I'm grateful for, because now I move in a way of learning. Like, if we continue to make the mistakes, then we aren't learning.
Yeah.
But I think it's essential to make the mistake and then look at it, realize, really understand what you've done.
Yeah.
Feel forgiveness for yourself, for one, which is something that I struggled with for a long time, was like, how can I hurt someone's feelings so bad? Like, how could I break someone's heart? Or how could I, you know, abuse somebody's trust, and how can I forgive myself for like causing this level of hurt?
Yeah.
But I think the best way you can forgive yourself is like learning that lesson and then moving forward in a way that would make yourself proud.
It usually starts, you know, with like just a couple drinks, and then like, when was it like the turning point for you where it was like not just drinking anymore, you know what I mean?
It's funny, the progression of things, how it's like, I'll never drink, and then you drink.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'll never smoke anything, and then you smoke something. And then it's like, okay, I've drank and I've smoked, but I'll definitely never snort anything. Ever. I won't ever do that.
Yeah.
And then like, I know for me, like probably the first time I did do was like just being way too drunk at a party. And like,
You're
someone
like,
was
hey,
like,
we ball.
here, try this. Like, it'll make you sober, and I'm not in the right mind, so I'm just like, all right.
Make you sober is crazy.
Yeah, well, because obviously, like, and this is such good information for people to know, because that is how so many people do for the first time, is like, you're way too drunk out somewhere, and someone's like, hey, you're sloppy drunk, take a bump of this, it'll wake you back up. And then
wake you up?
Yeah, in a way, just because alcohol is a depressant, so it's a downer, so
Yeah.
it makes you sloppy, and drunk is an upper, and it's a suppressant, so it
Makes you like
makes you
hyper.
But isn't
awake.
that like bad for you? Because if you're like,
terrible for you. Yes.
well, obviously,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
my mom would say, don't drink and then drink a Red Bull while you're drinking.
Yeah. Well, it's hard on your body, and it's really tough on your heart. But because you're so drunk, typically most people that do for the first time, they're like, I didn't even feel it, because they were so drunk that the evened
Didn't
them
even
out.
notice, yeah.
We have this advertisement that it's like, if you try a drug, you're gonna die.
Right.
So then someone tries a drug and they don't die, so now they feel like they've been lied to. Now it's like, you have fed me false information. You're just trying to like take my fun away.
Yeah.
And then you find yourself staying up for like 2 to 3 days at some random person's apartment having a conversation about nothing, and you're like, maybe I should have listened. You know?
Was it like slow or fast, would you say? Like
The progression?
Yeah.
Relatively fast.
Really?
But that was also because like I didn't take a lot of encouraging. Like, it was like, do you want to? And I'd be like, no. I'd be like, are you sure? And all right, fine.
Yeah.
When things feel normalized and like even glamorized, you know, in media and pop culture and things like that, it kind of breaks the stigma that there's a negative element to them, you know? And also when you see like big rock stars and pop stars and actors, and like that's their lifestyle. It's very easy to like,
influence,
to fall into that. Like, it's not a bad thing, it's just what people do. Or like, I hear a lot like, you know, I don't buy it. I just like do it if someone has it.
Yeah,
Or
that's like the big thing, like with vapes too.
Oh,
like
God,
addiction to
anything,
nicotine.
anything.
It's like, well, I don't have my own, but I just use it if I'm around it.
I've heard it with drugs, I've heard it with vapes, like,
Yeah.
I don't buy it, I just use it if someone has it. And like with a vape, I like don't support any, like I smoke cigarettes and use Zins, so like I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. You know, like we all have our things. But like the difference is like I'm not going to hit a vape and risk the chance of dropping dead in that moment. Like fentanyl is a real problem, and it has taken the life of people that I care about. It almost took my own life. Even trying it once is genuinely risking your life.
Yeah.
And people will say like, oh, my dealer's great, like he's super safe. The dealers don't even know that they're buying laced things.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. So I will like always say like, please do it safely if you're going to, and like make sure it's tested and all that. But why bother? Like I've been sober for 2 years and I've had more fun sober than I ever had in my life. Like I do not miss waking up in bushes or like throwing up or like my room spinning like I'm in frickin' The Wizard of Oz. Like that is not fun. Like now, like when I go out and have a good night, I go home and I'm like, that was a good night, and I know that that was a good night.
Yeah, like I'm gonna remember
Comparative to like I would go out to the party and just get really up and be like, tonight was so fun, and it was like, no, it wasn't. I sat with a bunch of randoms that I've never met before in my life and stayed up till 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. You had mentioned obviously like that your best friend has passed.
Yeah.
Are you like okay with talking about that at all?
Yeah.
Or anything around that? Obviously, like he was a public
Yeah,
figure
yeah.
to himself.
Yeah.
So when it had first happened, I remember like, you know, seeing people like post about it and everything like that. But I'm not educated at all, like I guess on.
I mean, his name was Cooper Noriega, and he was literally changed my life in every way, shape, or form. You know, I met him at a time that we were both in a very dark place, and we partied together and had many of nights of talking about life and death and drug use. And I think him and I were similar in the sense that we both like knew what drugs would get us to, you know, and Cooper had gone sober prior to his passing, and you know, he had a relapse, but he was trying to get back, and similar to what I just said, like was poisoned with fentanyl and murdered, you know, and it can happen to literally anyone. Like when I found out that news, I was in disbelief. I was like, not Cooper, like Cooper would never, like Cooper was the kid that taught me about like how things have fentanyl in them. And it got him.
You would use drugs and like drinking probably pretty heavily, right? Like right after, you know, trying to like keep the pain down.
Yeah.
And then was it just like after that it clicked and it was like
Was it like cold turkey? Like
well, I had like a 6-month crash out, went pretty hard, and then in January of 2023, I was pulled over and arrested on like a minor charge that wasn't even drug or alcohol related. But it was life-changing because it put me in jail for, you know, a couple days, and I just like was left with nothing but my thoughts.
You're stuck thinking, you
you
have
just,
nothing
you know,
else.
I looked at my whole life and I was just like, how am I here? You know, and I genuinely felt like I was talking to Cooper while I was, you know, in jail, and I could just hear him laughing at me, you know, just being like, what an idiot, you know, like, I have so much opportunity to do so much good and provide so much to the world, and I'm just like throwing it all away. I don't want to be the me that I am right now, and I think I need to be okay with that and figure out now how I can be someone that I like.
Wow.
I was lucky enough to know what problems to go straight to.
Yeah.
I think that is why rehab and therapy and things like that
help.
can be so helpful, because people don't even know why they're feeling like this.
Yeah.
I did. I knew exactly what traumas and what things in my life led me to wanting to cope like this. So when I got... Is that my talking time?
Sorry. I don't know why my phone goes off at 9:19 every day. I don't know.
Maybe it's telling you
It's an
something.
alarm.
Yeah.
You could turn it off.
You just
Maybe
stopped
I
him
should,
from
but I look forward to it. I look forward
It's like,
to it.
it's like your one thing.
Reminder.
you're gonna get. Yeah.
Okay, I'll turn it off.
No, you're fine. I think I was able to get down to it pretty fast.
Right. Like you had an understanding already.
And then I also just like really started at the foundational level of being like, who am I? What do I love? What do I want to be? What do I want to put out to the world? And let's just start from there.
Right.
And that was just slow building.
Hearing you speak about this is so. I'm literally.
I was about to cry. I'm over here like not trying to look at you, like looking over here and like it's bad.
It's so. Don't cry, bitch.
Stop,
don't cry,
Aubrey,
don't
I'm
cry,
gonna
bitch, don't
do it.
cry.
I'm gonna
It's
cry
so
too.
personal because my mom, oh my God, she passed away because of alcohol. And she tried to quit cold turkey. And it just, her body wasn't able to like,
It like shut down.
yeah, like it wasn't able to handle it. And so like hearing your journey and the way you have transformed into like the person you are now just brings me so much happiness because you
It
know
shows it can happen.
yeah, and like she had so much potential, and it's like she really tried and her body just wasn't able to do it, but knowing that you were is just so powerful and just so inspiring. And I I know obviously we're not like super close or anything, but I just really have so much like proudness for you, and I'm so happy for you that you were able to experience it and grow and become the individual you have become.
I appreciate that, and I like losing people close, especially in things that feel like could have been so avoidable.
Yeah.
You know, is extremely difficult, and you're so strong.
Thank you.
And you are incredible that you can let that out and like don't ever be ashamed to like cry or like release those emotions. Like, it's so important to acknowledge those feelings and like know that those tears are signs that you are here, and like being in this room doing what you guys are doing is such an honor to them.
Right.
You know, I speak to Cooper's mom a lot, and we have similar conversations, and like I thank her for having the son that she had because he did so much for me and changed my life. Everyone is going through something, small, tall, does not matter, you know, and I know that your mom would be extremely proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm extremely proud of you. And these types of things affect all of us in some way or another. And I know how tough some of those days can be. But I know that you are doing it the right way.
Thank you.
And you are incredible for that.
Thank you.
Of course.
And you bring me this like energy that's a lot like my mom, because it was my stepmom, my mom's fiance, who passed away. And so when she had passed away, my mom spiraled also, like, you know, it got very crazy at home, and she also drank, so it got very bad.
Yeah.
And she ended up getting sober, and I want to say now she's like, I want to say around 5 years sober, so it's like,
Love
thank
that.
you, Mom,
Yeah,
yes.
of course.
But you just inspire me so much, and it's great to know that like people can make it through and become so much more.
I very much like, I stand for that. Like anything that I do in my life now is with the intention of like, I would be selfish to harbor what I have learned, you know? And I know that it is difficult to talk about these things, and it's difficult to be vulnerable. It's difficult to look at a camera and been like, I have been a piece of I have been a drug addict. I have been at the lowest of lows. Like,
and people like even struggle just to admit it to themselves.
100%,
With nobody else
you know,
listening,
and
hearing, or being around.
and it's difficult because there is such a stigma around it. You know, there is like, if someone's an alcoholic, if someone's a drug addict, that they're just a bad person, that they
Right.
are just beneath you. And it's like, I think anyone around has been affected by addiction in some way or another that they don't realize. Addiction is not just to drugs. It's not just to substances. Addiction can be to people. Like, how many friends? Like, what are you? What have you?
That's her
straight
addiction.
at me like, damn.
Yeah, like it can be people. It can be situations. Video games can be addicting. Media, like sex. Like, there's so many. Like, addiction, such a wide umbrella
Right.
that can show face in any way. That I think it's important that people are aware of it and like know about it and know how it might be affecting them, because like you yourself might be an addict and have no idea. More so than anything nowadays, like what I see addiction show face more than anything is in like people, in like relationships, and especially people in our age group, like girl crazy, boy crazy, like that addiction is difficult. You keep looking at her shady. There is some shade being thrown. But no, like
Just
it's
like take it in.
Just listen to them. I'm listening. Like, I'm hearing, I promise.
is there
I already
is
know your mom's like smiling ear to ear back there, like
I'm sure she's happy about it.
have boys or girls gotten there?
Yeah, I definitely have a situation that's gotten me good for a while, but like
How's it?
I would say that I'm like definitely doing better right now, and I'm pretty, I mean, for myself, like I'm pretty sure that like I'm hella good off of it. But I think it's also like when going through it, like it's not like, oh, I'm trying to convince other people, like, yeah, I'm done with that situation, but like, I guess it is like, I feel bad because it's like, nobody believes me, and it's like, my friends will say it as like, oh, the boy who cried wolf, you know what I mean? It's like, how many times have I said that and not done it?
But that same thing is how I was with drugs, right?
Yeah.
Like when I went sober, that last time, like the time that I'm on now,
Right.
I tried to go sober before. I had cut things out, and like, so that sobriety wasn't anything for the people around me. They were like, he'll be drinking and doing drugs again soon.
In a week, yeah.
You know, and even people that like I saw 6 months into my sobriety that I haven't seen like until recently, they're like, oh, you want to drink? And I'm like, no, I'm sober. And they're like, still? Because it's like, you know, like
They're not used to it.
They're not
It's
used to
shocking,
it.
Yeah.
All of us already have, or at some point will hear that spiel in our life of like, I'm different, I'm better, I've changed. As someone that is different, is better, has changed, I don't feel the need to tell people. I just allow my actions
To show
to
it.
show it.
Damn.
And then if the people around me that I've maybe hurt or have kind of put an arm's distance away from me because of how I was, if they observe that and they see that, they'll naturally gravitate. Like what is meant to be will be. Like, but it's okay. Like don't feel embarrassed or like that. Like you're a person. Like you will make these mistakes. Like you're young, good. Make it now. Like just don't be 40 making the same mistake, because there are people that do that, right? Like clock it, learn from it, find your own independence, your own like love for yourself, your own passion for yourself. And then you'll naturally just see that the people around you, like you will find that relationship that is like right, that is like the right person. You know what I mean? Or you won't. And like,
I knew it was coming.
no, like don't. Oh god, I got 3 of you. You're next.
Leave me alone.
But like no, genuinely, like please don't beat yourself up about it, because like being a boy that has been the boy making girls cry, we can be assholes. Like we can. Like we can be real conniving, or like girls, like we're all young, and sometimes we have even manipulative tendencies that we don't realize we have because they're mental health problems that we haven't checked, or we've been taught to love wrong. You know, like I very much learned love in a manipulative way.
Yeah.
I was very much the insecure boyfriend at 16, the controlling boyfriend at 16. I don't want you to hang out with this boy, or when they're at this party, like I feel like I'm bent over a bathroom toilet about to throw up because I'm like, they're cheating on me, they hate me. Like, but really, like that was me not feeling the worth in myself. Like that was me saying like, I would cheat on me. I don't feel good enough for me. When I went into this relationship, like I said, this is who I want in a partner, and I will not bend. Like these are my hard standards, and like this is what I want. This is the communication I want. This is the love I want to receive, and I will not settle until I have that. And if even 2 things don't match these core values to me, it ain't for me. I'm walking away, because you should not compromise who you are to force something. I have a lot of female friends. I have my male friends that I just like want to grab a club and just like hit them over the head, because I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm sure like you guys all being so close have all had that moment with with her or with whoever, right?
Okay, with all of us.
But like,
We're not talking about me. I definitely had your moments too now.
but like we honestly all have those moments. Like we've all dated someone that we can be like, I don't know what I was doing.
What was going on?
All right, but like it's part of the process. Trust the process. Just learn from it. Right. Like that's the key. Like don't beat yourself up. Don't call yourself stupid and dumb, even though it may have been stupid and dumb. Beating yourself up is not gonna make yourself feel better. What's important is to be like, I have great friends. I'm doing something with myself. I am a young, gorgeous person that has an ability to put out such greatness and such great love to deserving people, and just channel that. That's friends, that is family, that is relationships. Like your love and your time is the most valuable thing you have to give. Choose where you put those things, and like make sure that you're with someone platonically or romantically that respects that.
I think you're my new favorite person on Twitter.
Well, if anyone needs a therapist, I charge by the hour.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a conversation where I was actually able to like sit and listen and be like, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
I feel like every time I'm like,
I just think like one, it also helps coming from someone in our age group.
yeah.
Because like one thing is like an adult being like, sweetie, this boy's bad news, or this girl's bad news. It's like, yeah, okay.
Right.
Tell it to me tomorrow. Like,
Right.
I have been on either side. I've been hurt. I have done the hurting. I have been the toxic one. I have been the one to be like, this is toxic. I need to step away. Even playing into drug addiction and alcohol addiction, like, that's a fine line towards like toxic relationships and things like that. Like, oh, this person's pissing me off. I just need to go out and get drunk and crash out.
Forget about it.
Forget about it and like, and hook up with a bunch of people. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I very much am like now healthy coping, right? Like, you feel sad, someone's got you like down, like, go for a run, hang out with friends, like,
Sometimes it doesn't work like that.
or even like sit in bed and think about what is making you sad and
Sit in bed and cry. Yeah, that sounds better.
Which sucks, because some people are like, no, I'd rather go out with friends and get like hammered.
Lit, yeah.
Or you find yourself now 2 o'clock in the morning, you're blacked out drunk, and you're like, just let me call him. Let me call him. like, like, you know, or let me just like sending drunk texts like, I hate you, you're the worst.
No,
And
normally it's like I miss you. Come
yeah, or that. Yeah, like I've been that one too. Like it's
You get the call back. So, did you mean to call me?
No, and then it's like
waking up seeing like you've called that person 25 times.
Right.
Like, really?
Ooh, what did
I
I
do
do
that?
last
Are
night?
you sure that was my number?
like
My friend took my phone.
My friend took my phone.
It was a dare. It was a dare. It was a dare.
Yeah, I mean we've all clearly shared it in some way or another.
Yeah.
But like creating healthy copes for anything in life, like that is what has helped me so much. One, acknowledging, okay, I'm not feeling very good right now. What do I need to do to process this to feel better? I do like a very cardio focused exercise, right? Like by the time I'm done with the workout, like any stress or like anxiety that was like building up, like kind of feels released. And I also feel good about myself because I'm like, ooh, like I just like sweat a bunch and like did
Right.
something for my body and for my health. Like I feel good. Like, or like I'm gonna go, like this situation is making me stressed or mad. Like I think it would be very healing to be around people that I care about. And like I'll talk about it with them a little bit and then I'll be like, all right, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Like let's just have fun. And like, and then if I get home and I still feel sad about it, then I'll like really evaluate. But like typically most day-to-day problems can just be solved with like very simple copes. But a lot of people ignore them, let all these things build up, and then one big thing opens the floodgates, and then it's like crash out season for the next 3 months, you know? But if you check all the little ones, you're like always putting out fuses. It's not 10 times as big. It's still big, but it's not 90 different things, you know, and that applies even in relationships. Like that's why I say the core of any friendship, any romantic relationship is communication.
Yeah.
You can't communicate and you don't have the trust to communicate openly and honestly, walk away. Because like, it ain't gonna work.
Right.
It ain't gonna work. Like, if you don't feel like you can voice how you are feeling to a partner or a friend without like being judged or yelled at or screamed at, that ain't going nowhere.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I
Thank you for
greatly
having me.
appreciate you,
Of course.
to be honest. Like, you've actually educated me in a way I did not think I was going to be educated about myself
Today.
today.
Clocked you and it's leaving.
Yeah,
It's
bro.
like,
Well, I hope that everyone watching and all of us here always have something to think about and take away something.
Yeah.
And of course, you guys can always reach out to me.
You're going to be my new inspiration.
Yeah, literally. I feel like I view everything
Oh my
just so
gosh.
differently now. Like
Yeah.
I feel inspired right
No, every
now.
time I talk
No,
to
I'm,
someone,
like,
they be
rethinking what we're
Isaac
Yeah.
was my turning point.
Yeah.
You're my turning
But
point.
also, if you guys ever need a little snap awake, like please reach out, like find me, and I'm always happy to like talk and talk some sense. Of course, yeah, of course. Thank you guys for having me.
We do this thing. At the end we put our hands in the middle and we say like a little saying. I feel like that's when we should say like healing, right?
That's cute.
I like
yeah,
that.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's
and
really
then
good.
we go like this and we say like
Just
on
healing.
three.
Healing,
healing,
but it's healing.
Yeah, it's the healing arrow.
Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Healing.